Croeso pawb to the New Year deals and games at the £20 PSN sale. Now this is quite a big sale, but a lot of the games in this are not very cheap and they're usually on better deals, and on top of that most of the versions that are on sale are not the ones you should buy. They don't include the DLC and they're generally just a bad deal. But as usual, I've gone through the whole sale for you, and I found some really good deals. There's not a massive amount of them, but there are some here. So if you like the idea of finding cool new games to play, and saving a lot of money along the way, then you're in the right place. Don't forget to subscribe, you're welcome here anytime. Now this sale ends on the 4th of February, so that'll be your last day to pick up these deals. Let's look at the games. First up, we have Clair Extended Cut. It was released in 2016, so it's 10 years old, and it's on an 80% discount for the price of £2.79, which is a really great deal, as this is the Extended Cut, which includes all of the extra content and bug fixes as well. So you're getting the best version of the game you can get, which is really great. In this survival horror game, while visiting her sick mother, Claire accidentally stumbles into a dark passage of echoing doors and abandoned rooms. Trapped with a dog and strangers, you must explore to find your way out. It features a panic system and multiple endings as well, so if you like replaying games, there'll be some extra reasons for you to play this. You can see all of the different ways the story plays out, which is pretty cool. Now, the horror genre is huge and there's a massive amount of games to choose from, especially the survival horror genre is very popular, but this is quite a unique game because it's 2D, it's got a retro 16-bit art style and gameplay, and for people who like older games, or that just like something a bit different, you'll probably be really interested in this. These days, most of the horror games are 3D and first person, so it's nice to see one that's a bit different. So if you're a fan of horror games, especially survival games, and you want something a bit retro, then why not take a look at this? It's very different, but it offers something unique, and I think for people that like these sorts of games, it'll be very interesting and something a bit different and cool. And hey, if you've never played a survival horror game before, then you could start here, especially if you're a fan of retro games or 2D games, then it's quite unique within this genre, and you'll probably have a great time with it. But if you want something a bit more typical, there's a lot of games to pick from, so you can pretty much find any game that you want really. So if you're not that sure about this one, or you want something a bit different, then don't forget to subscribe, and then you won't miss your other options in future videos. We have a very interesting game next, Disaster Report 4 Summer Memories. It was released in 2020, so it's 6 years old, and it's on a 70% discount for the price of $14.99, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a pretty good deal, especially for a Japanese game. A lot of them are pretty expensive, so it's quite nice to see it on a big discount. Now, this game includes a VR mode. This only works on PSVR 1, so if you don't have a PSVR 1, you won't be able to play that mode, and it has no move controller support either, which isn't a big deal for this because it's more of an experience than it is a full game. In this survival adventure, after a massive earthquake hits the city, you play as a civilian navigating the rubble while interacting with other survivors and making choices that affect how your journey through the disaster will end. It features a VR mode with 5 scenarios to play through as well, so you don't get to play the whole game in VR, it's just 5 fixed scenarios which are based around different areas or portions of the game. Now, if you're buying this for the VR specifically, you can't access them without completing the segment in the main story that unlocks that area. So if you want to play the VR and not the main game, you basically won't be able to. You have to complete the game to unlock all of the VR areas. But hey, if you're just interested in the game, that won't be a problem. Now, I've been interested in this series for a long time. It's been around quite a while, and they're all based in Japan, and they all involve surviving after a natural disaster. So it's a pretty cool idea. It's very unique, and I think this is the only game series that does this. I've been interested to play them for a long time, but because they were Japan games mainly, a lot of them didn't get released here, and the few that did were hard to get hold of, or pretty expensive. So it's quite interesting to see this more recent version of the game being at a good discount, and having VR content as well. That's really cool. Now in this game, you're basically in the city after the earthquake, and there are other things that happen, collapsing buildings, floods, all sorts of things, and you have to navigate that while also interacting with a load of people, doing side quests with them, helping people out, and just generally trying to survive as best you can. I think it's a really cool idea for a game. I find it very intriguing, and it's definitely different. You're not going to get to play this sort of thing in many other games, I don't think. So if you're a fan of adventures or survival games, and you want to try something a bit different, definitely check this out. It's very different and unique, and I think for the people that are interested, you'll have a lot of fun with this. I'm pretty tempted myself, so why not check it out if you like the sound of it as much as I do. And hey, if you never played a survival adventure before, because there's very few of these games around, then you could start here. It's not that cheap, but you don't have a lot of options, and this is a modern game from the genre with a good VR mode as well, and it's basically your best option. So if you're tempted, why not look at it? But if you're not sure yet, you could always wait. It might go down in price again, you never know. But outside of that, you don't have many more options. Either way, if you like the look of it and you want to start your adventure here, then take a look. But if not, there'll be plenty more games for you to choose from in this sale and future videos as well. Up next is my star by Jurassic World Evolution. It was released in 2018, so it's 8 years old, and it's on an 85% discount for the price of £5.54, which is a really good price, but it has been cheaper in the past, but not for years. It used to be on sale a lot, and now not so much these days, but this is pretty close to the lowest price I've seen, and it's been a long time, so I'm willing to cover it again. Now, just be careful with the versions you pick up. This is the base version with no DLC I'm covering. The reason for that is it does have other versions that come with some DLC, but none of them come with all of it. So the best value way of buying this series is to buy the base version with no DLC, and then there's an expansion pack with all of the DLC. Buy those two together, that's the best way to get everything for the cheapest price. In this management sim, on the famous islands of the Muerto Archipelago, you get to build your own Jurassic Park, bioengineering dinosaurs, building the park to contain them, expanding the islands, and choosing your own journey, with a story full of iconic characters from the series, with full voice acting as well, which is pretty cool. Now, I'm a big fan of this game. I picked it up myself on sale years ago, and I played it, and completed it, and platinumed it, and I absolutely loved it. I'm a big fan of management games in general. I used to play a lot of Roller Coaster Tycoon, and those sorts of games back in the day, and I really enjoy the genre in general. I'm a big fan of Jurassic Park as well. I loved those movies as a kid, and they're really good. Putting the two together is really cool. The management is really good. It may not be the best management game around, but it's on theme. You get to build a load of dinosaurs, and it's always exciting when one escapes, and you have to try and track it down with tranquilizers before it eats everyone in the park. It's quite funny. So, basically, if you're a fan of management games and you like Jurassic Park, take a look at this. It's a really good game with a lot of really cool content and an amazing franchise attached to it. Like I said, it's my star buy. It's well worth your time and money, I promise. And hey, if you never played a management sim before, then you could start here. It's a really good game, and it's got a great franchise attached. If you're a fan of Jurassic Park, you'll probably really enjoy yourself. But if you're not a fan of Jurassic Park, you're probably better off starting with a different game in this genre instead. And if that's the case, don't worry, keep up with the videos and you won't miss your options in future videos. I really like the next game, Life is Strange Remastered Collection. It was released in 2022, so it's 4 years old, but the original game came out in 2015, so it's older than that really, and it's on a 70% discount for the price of £9.89, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a pretty decent deal, as this collection includes the complete remastered Life is Strange game, and the prequel Before the Storm, with all of the content for everything included, which is really good. You're getting the best versions of the games with everything. You can't ask for anything else really. In this story-driven adventure, you get to play as a student, Max, who returns to Arcadia Bay for school, but after people go missing and an impending storm arrives, you soon get caught up in events that will change your life and everyone around you forever. Now, this game came out back when it was popular to do story-driven adventure games, and there was a lot of Telltale games around, like the Walking Dead ones, and this was basically the only real competitor to Telltale. And I gotta be fair, I completed this back in the day, and I really enjoyed it. The story's really good and enjoyable. The mechanics around the character are really good. There's some mechanics that come out in the story, and I'm not gonna spoil for you, but it makes the gameplay really interesting and cool, and it really allows you to play around with the story and see different choices and results from your actions. It's really cool, it's really interesting, and in this genre I think it's one of the best ones around. It may even be better than most of the Telltale games. It's that good. So if you're a fan of story-driven adventure games, and you want to play a cool story with some unique mechanics and a cool twist on the genre, then why not take a look at this? It's a really cool game that I've completed myself, and I really enjoyed it. If you're tempted, definitely check it out. Especially if you're a fan of the genre, I don't think you'll be disappointed. And hey, if you've never played a story-driven adventure before, then you could start here. It's not that cheap, but you are getting multiple games and a lot of content included, and it's a remastered version as well. So you are getting value for money, but it may be cheaper in the future. But if you've always been tempted by this genre, this is a great place to start. This or one of the Telltale games are probably where you should start. So it comes down to theming really, because Telltale have got a lot of franchises attached to their games. So if you're into one of them, you're probably better off starting there instead. So if you're okay with the price and you're tempted, then take a look, but if not, there'll be plenty more Telltale games to pick up in future sales instead. We have an action game next, Like a Dragon Ishin, PS4 and PS5. It was released in 2023, so it's 3 years old, and it's on an 80% discount for the price of £10.99, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really great deal, as this includes both the PS4 and PS5 versions, and it's the best version I think. There's a deluxe edition, but it only includes cosmetics, so I don't think it's really worth it for that, and it's not even on sale right now either. Now if you want the cosmetics you could wait for that, but I don't know, it just doesn't seem worth spending extra money on to me, but that's up to you. This RPG is set in 1860s Japan, where you get to play as a samurai on a journey of revenge to find your father's killer and clear your name for a framed murder to finally restore your honor, with your actions changing the future of Japan forever. Now, this is basically a spin-off from the Yakuza games, and they're a really good series. They're basically like GTA Japan, but with a lot of quirky mini-games and a ton of content. They're a really good, fantastic franchise. The combat's really good in them, and there's just a lot of love in that series. So if you like the idea of that, but set in ancient Japan with samurai, then you're in the right place. It's a very cool game, very unique entry in the franchise, and I can't say enough about it really. It's got really good pedigree, it's a really cool setting, so if you're a fan of samurai and you want a cool RPG that doesn't take itself too seriously, then definitely check this out. It's a really cool game, and I think anyone that's tempted by it will have an absolute great time, especially if you're a fan of the franchise. You know how good they are. Why not check it out if you like the sound of it? And hey, if you've never played an RPG before, then I'm not sure I'd recommend starting here. There's a huge amount of games in the RPG genre, and this isn't typical of the genre generally. And the price isn't that cheap at the moment either. It's a big discount, but it's still pretty pricey compared to some of the games you could get within the genre. But hey, if you're looking for something set in feudal Japan with samurai, I mean, what are you going to do? Buy Assassin's Creed Shadows? And I don't think anybody would intentionally put themselves through that. So why not take a look at this instead? But if you're not sure or you don't want to pay the price, there are other options, and there'll be loads of them from this genre as well. So don't worry about it. Don't forget to subscribe, and you'll have plenty more options in future videos. And the final game I have for you is Lost Judgment Digital Ultimate Edition. It was released in 2021, so it's 5 years old, and it's on an 80% discount for the price of £10.99, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really great deal, as this edition includes the 2 story expansions, school stories, and the Kaito files, plus the Detective Essentials pack as well. So you're getting the complete version of the game with everything included, which is really good. In this action-adventure, after a convicted police officer reveals the location of a murder victim, Private Detective Yagami must revisit an impossible case to reveal the truth behind 2 crimes as the bodies continue to pile up around him. Now, this is a sequel to a previous game, and it is another spin-off from the Yakuza franchise, which is a pretty big franchise, so don't be too surprised at that. And the difference with this series is that it's more detective-focused. You still get a really cool combat system, resulting in really cool fight sequences, but there is some stealth mechanics to it as well, and it mainly focuses on the investigation. So if you're into really cool detective games, and you like a bit of combat as well, or maybe you're a fan of the Yakuza series, or you're just a fan of Japan, and you like something a bit different, then why not check this out? It's a very different and unique game, but I think it's also a really good one, and people that give it a chance will really enjoy it. And hey, if you never played an action-adventure before, then I'm not sure I'd recommend starting here. It's a sequel to a previous game, and also it's not that cheap. It's a good discount, but you can get other games way cheaper than this. Plus, in this genre there's a huge amount of games to choose from, so you'll have a lot of other games you could pick up instead, and most of them will be cheaper than this on sale. But hey, if you really like the look of this one, then why not check it out? But if not, you'll have a lot of other options to choose from in future videos. So don't forget to subscribe, and then you won't miss them when they're on sale next. And that's all the games I have for the New Year deals and games under £20 PSN sale. Hey, it's been a while. Happy New Year. I hope everything started off with a bang for you, and hopefully we'll all have a good year going forward. Anyway, what did you think of the games I picked? Did I pick good ones or did I pick bad ones? And what about the star buy? Do you think it deserved it? Or should some other game have got it instead? Leave all your comments below, and we could talk about it later. Anyway, I hope you found some really cool games to play, but more importantly, I hope you saved a lot of money. I'll see you guys in the next sale. Hoil Var.